Can you find your names? It's first name, alphabetical order.
Okay, so as a maybe good citizen in Agile, I first thought about is the key how we can learn to respect this and deal with it, and also how can we recognize it. And the thing that helps me a lot is, so I point you to this on the very right, to the HSD, which is called the Human Systems Dynamics. I really love that thing. What they have developed is really great stuff, great tools and methods. And they came up with something, well, and you look, I recommend you look it up because there's so many things you can just use right away. So this is what's called the difference in exchange metrics. And it looks at, well, do we have a lot of differences or hardly any differences? Do we have a lot of exchanges or hardly any exchanges? And based on that, we see what's going on here. For example, we have here low differences but high exchanges, and that's called here in this model self-organization. Then we have where like the differences are very high, but we have hardly any exchanges. You see they don't have anything to do with each other. That's called uncoupling. Then we have, well, this is what I sometimes feel like old couples. They don't talk much anymore, but they're very much the same, and everyone knows everything. So this is belonging. And then the fourth quadrant, this is called reinforcing, where everything is high. Now, one key of this is that there's not a single field that's better than the other, because what we need is, well, first, maybe we need some belonging if we think about crossing all these different things, because if we don't do that, then probably nothing will get done. But if we are staying here in this belonging field, then probably we are not innovative at all because we think the same way. So the suggestion that HSD here has is that we need to kind of wander around these quadrants, and we need to keep doing this. And how we can do that, and now I'm not sure, oh, I have this also motivate, and let me put this in all of it together, is, well, we need to look from time to time, how can we increase the differences, or how can we lower them, or how can we increase the exchange, or how can we lower them in the context of where are we at right now. So do we need to be more innovative? Do you need to bring everyone more together? Then of course need to lower the differences. So these are, well, these are, again, like everything that's providing the environment for the value center to operate in a good way. But what does it mean? Where are we at right now? Then we can start comparing what do other companies do, and look, can we do this as well? Or maybe do we want to do something just the opposite in order to serve the world in a really good way or not? And then we try and experiment, and at best we also publish about that. Just this example from IT Agile, from how they deal with travel expenses. If they wouldn't have told, I wouldn't know, you wouldn't know that there are really other options how to deal with this, right? So we need to talk about these things that we are doing. And then we reflect, we also take into all what we are doing, again, if we want to serve the world. And it can be something like, what do we have? Really putting this power on the company to say, well, now we let the company help here to maybe not consume as much. Maybe that should be another way of testing the systems we are doing. Again, it's again, I'm not excluding myself. I often don't think about that. I think about, does it work? Does it not? Maybe I look at, is it fast? Is it not? I want to provide you the definition that Hofstede gives for this cultural dimension he's looking at here. And the definition is this one. So masculinity. So if you're high on masculinity, it means you're representing a preference in your society for achievement, heroism, assertiveness, and material rewards for success. Versus if you're scoring low, which is femininity, stands for a preference for cooperation, modesty, caring for the weak, and quality of life. So I really think if we take it serious and serve the world, what Cherry is kind of asking the Agile people to do is we really need to have a culture that's emphasizing more this definition of femininity. And actually, I hope I don't really need to emphasize that it doesn't say that all women are like that and all men are like what's described on the top.
Enough. It's very important that we don't only focus on the training people or giving them some budgets to go to have a fitness subscription and not going, or sponsor a gym actually. I want to give people tools where they can
You can book the flights and yeah. It's over here. This over the small the dessert.
So what I've learned is to really ask, always say things that to me really.
But then you have to join me, okay? Okay, stand up. Come on. This is an Agile community. Stand up. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So we keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to be persistent when we're standing at a distance. So we keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. Yeah, thank you. Gorillas. And what to do with this anyway?